I don't know how to start this. I feel like I've been living in some kind of fog lately, like I can see shapes moving in the distance but can't quite make out what they are. Something's happening, and I can't figure it out. I never thought I would be talking about this. You know those stories that explode with thousands of comments? Bro, you deserve better, or this can't be true, right? I always thought, no, I'm doing fine. I work from 9 to 5, come home to my wife Vanessa, have dinner, watch movies, go to bed. I repeat, but something went wrong, and it's growing like a snowball. It started 3 days ago. I work in home security systems, so naturally our house is rigged to the teeth. Indoor cameras, outdoor cameras, motion sensors, door locks I can control from my phone. It's my job, and it's also my hobby. My wife Vanessa has always teased me about it. She'd roll her eyes when I installed another camera or updated the app on her phone. Asterisk, paranoid much? Asterisk, she'd joke. But it's all in good fun. Or at least I thought so. Anyway, I was at work, nothing unusual, sitting in my tiny cubicle. I was about to head into a meeting when my phone buzzed. Motion detected. Front door. Now, it wasn't uncommon for Vanessa to go out during the day. She's a freelance designer, and her schedule's loose. Sometimes she grabs coffee with her friends, hits the gym, or takes a drive to clear her head. I glanced at the notification and shrugged it off. But then, seconds later, motion detected. Living room. Here's where it gets weird. Normally, when someone comes through the front door, the living room camera kicks on, basic sequence. But this time, the app glitched. The screen flickered black, then live, then black again, and every time the screen showed live footage, it lit up brighter. Like there was a glare, or something. Motion detected. Living room again. It wouldn't stop pinging me. I thought the app was bugging out, so I opened the live feed to check. And what I saw made me pause mid-sip of my coffee. Vanessa was home, but she wasn't alone. There was a man with her. Tall guy, clean-cut. I couldn't see his face clearly, but I could tell by the way they walked in together. Close, familiar, that they knew each other. And here's the part that really threw me. The cameras lit up every single time this guy moved. You know that lens flare effect you get when the sun hits a camera just right? Like that, except it wasn't sunlight. It was indoors, and my cameras are smart enough to adjust to lighting. I blinked at the screen, trying to make sense of it. At first, I thought maybe he was wearing something reflective. A watch, maybe? Something messing with the sensors? But no, this was different. It was like the camera was reacting to him. Almost as if it didn't want me to see him. I toggled through the feeds, but the footage froze every time he moved. What the hell? I glanced at the clock. My meeting was starting in 5 minutes, but I couldn't tear my eyes away from the screen. Vanessa and this guy were standing in the living room, talking, laughing even, and then the screen flickered out. I reloaded the feed. Nothing. No motion detected. No video. It was like the system stopped working completely. I'm not a superstitious guy. I deal in tech and logic. If something's broken, there's always a reason why. But the way my cameras were acting, it didn't feel like a glitch. Felt intentional. When I got home that night, Vanessa was already there, sitting on the couch with her laptop open. She looked up and smiled. Asterisk, hey, babe, how was work? Fine, asterisk, I said. My voice came out stiffer than I intended. I set my bag down and glanced around the living room. Everything looked normal. The same throw pillows, the same scent of her lavender candles. If I hadn't seen the video, I never would have guessed someone else had been here. Vanessa noticed me looking. Asterisk, you okay? Asterisk, she asked, her eyes narrowing slightly. Asterisk, yeah. Just tired. Asterisk. I didn't say anything about the cameras. I wanted to ask her who he was, why the cameras freaked out, but I needed to gather my thoughts first. What was I even going to say? Hey, honey, my cameras acted possessed today because of some dude who lights up the feed? No, that'd make me sound insane. Instead, I made dinner while Vanessa finished up her work. We sat together at the table, chatting about our days. She told me about a new client who wanted a logo redesign. She laughed about how picky they were being. She seemed normal, happy even, but I noticed the small things. Vanessa's phone, which usually sat face up on the table, was now face down. She used to leave it everywhere, unlocked, without a care in the world. Tonight, though, it didn't leave her side. And then there was her outfit. Vanessa usually wears baggy sweaters and leggings when she's working from home. Comfort over style. But today, when I came in, she'd been wearing jeans and a blouse. Like she'd gone somewhere. Or met someone. I didn't say anything. I'm not the jealous type. But all these little details were adding up. I felt like I was seeing her through a different lens. Like something had shifted, and I couldn't unsee it. That night, I stayed up late in my office. Vanessa went to bed around 11, and I could hear her soft breathing from the bedroom down the hall. I pulled up the surveillance logs on my laptop and started scrubbing through the footage from earlier that day. The motion logs showed clear activity. Front door, living room, and then nothing. The footage froze at exactly 2:43 p.m. I tried restoring it, but the file was corrupted, like it had been wiped. I stared at the screen, my pulse racing. I've worked in home security for years, and I've never seen a system act like this. The cameras were supposed to record continuously, and yet somehow they'd blacked out. Only during the time this guy was there. I leaned back in my chair, rubbing my hands over my face. What the hell was going on? The next morning, I decided to test the cameras myself. Before Vanessa woke up, I went into the living room, waved my arms in front of the camera, and the feed worked perfectly. No glitches, no flare. Just me, looking tired in my sweatpants. But when I checked the system log, I found something else. A deleted entry. Someone, something had accessed the cameras remotely and wiped the files. I felt a cold weight settle in my stomach as I stared at the screen. Someone had been in my house. Someone who didn't want me to see. And my wife was acting like everything was fine. I haven't confronted Vanessa yet. I don't even know where to start. I feel like I'm losing my mind, like I'm missing something obvious. Am I being paranoid? Or is there something deeper going on here? I need to figure out who that man was. And why my cameras don't want me to see him. I've always been a logical guy. If there's a problem, I figure out the steps to solve it. But logic doesn't seem to help much when you feel like you're losing your mind. It's been 3 days since I saw that man. With my wife. 3 days since my cameras glitched, my footage vanished, and I felt the first cracks in the reality I thought I knew. Vanessa, of course, acts like everything's fine. Too fine if you ask me. She makes her coffee in the morning, kisses me before she heads to her office, and chats about work like nothing's changed. But I know something's off. I just can't prove it yet. Yesterday, I decided to go through her things. I know it's a low move. I've never been the paranoid, snooping type. Vanessa and I have always had trust, or so I thought. But these little inconsistencies were eating at me like termites. I started with her office looking for, honestly, I didn't know what. Some note, some evidence of who that man was. Her desk looked perfectly normal. Sketchbooks, a laptop, her usual clutter. Nothing unusual. Until I checked her drawers. That's where I found it. A coffee shop receipt, crumpled up under a pile of notebooks. I pulled it out, and my heart immediately sank. The receipt was for a place across town, not one of Vanessa's usual spots. The date? 2 days ago, the exact day I saw her with that man. But the kicker was the time, 2:12 p.m. I've replayed that day in my mind 100 times. The motion alert started at 2:43 p.m. when the cameras showed Vanessa and him. A tall, clean-cut guy I didn't recognize, walking into our living room together. So what was Vanessa doing across town, alone, at 2:12? When I asked her about it later over dinner, her answer was smooth. Too smooth. Oh, I was with Melanie, she said casually, smiling over her plate. At that ugly little coffee place on Main Street? We sat there forever, Asterisk. Main Street. That wasn't where the receipt was from. I didn't call her out on it. I just nodded and forced a smile. But inside, it felt like the air was being squeezed out of my chest. Vanessa was lying to me, and she was doing it so naturally that I almost second-guessed myself. That night, I couldn't sleep. I stayed in my office, staring at the surveillance logs and the crumpled receipt. None of it made sense. Who was that man? Why was my system glitching only when he appeared? Desperation makes you do things you never thought you would. At 3 a.m., I found myself scrolling through private investigator listings online. I picked the one with the best reviews, a guy I'll call Mark, and sent him an email right then and there. I didn't tell him everything, just that I needed answers about my wife's movements and a man I'd seen with her. Mark didn't ask many questions when we spoke the next day. He agreed to track Vanessa and investigate who the mystery man might be. I'll be honest, I felt sick about it. It's hard to reconcile spying on the woman you love with being a good husband, but what other choice did I have? I needed to know the truth. 2 days later, Mark called me with news. "You're gonna want to sit down for this," he said, his voice low and serious. My stomach sank as I perched on the edge of my desk chair. Asterisk, what did you find? Asterisk. Asterisk, the guy you saw on your cameras, I ran a facial recognition match. His name's Hector Walker. Asterisk. Hector Walker? I repeated, my pulse speeding up. The name didn't ring a bell. Who is he? Mark paused, and I heard him take a breath. Asterisk, here's the thing, Thomas. Hector Walker's been dead for 8 years. Asterisk. I blinked, unsure I'd heard him right. Asterisk, what? Asterisk. Asterisk, car accident. Declared dead back in 2016. There's even an obituary. I'll send you the link now. Asterisk. The line went silent for a second, and then a message popped up on my phone. I clicked it, and sure enough, there it was. Hector Walker, 31, died in a car crash on the interstate. There was a photo in the obituary. It was grainy and old, but it was him. The same man I'd seen on my cameras. My brain felt like it short-circuited. This couldn't be right. I saw him. He was in my house, laughing and talking to my wife like it was the most normal thing in the world. How could he be dead? The more I stared at Hector Walker's photo, the sicker I felt. Because in the obituary picture, Hector was wearing a necklace, a thin chain with a small pendant. I froze. I knew that necklace. Vanessa had one just like it, a pendant she kept tucked away in her jewelry box. She told me it was a family heirloom that had been passed down from her grandmother. I'd seen it a handful of times over the years, but she never wore it. I don't know how long I sat there, staring at the screen, my mind spinning in circles. Did Vanessa know Hector before he died? If so, why had she never mentioned him? Why would she have his pendant? And more importantly, how the hell was he in my living room 2 days ago if he died 8 years ago? When Vanessa got home that evening, I could barely look at her. She asked me if I was okay, and I lied through my teeth. Asterisk, just a rough day at work. Asterisk, I couldn't confront her. Not yet. I needed more information. Something concrete to prove to myself that I wasn't going crazy. That night, I lay awake in bed, listening to the quiet hum of the house. Vanessa was fast asleep next to me, her breathing slow and steady. I stared at the ceiling, my mind racing with questions I couldn't answer. Around 2 a.m., I finally drifted off into a light sleep, but my rest didn't last long. Because at 3:30 a.m., my phone buzzed, a notification from my security app. Motion detected. Living room. My heart leapt into my throat as I unlocked my phone and pulled up the live feed. But the screen was empty, just the faint glow of the lamp Vanessa had left on. I stared at the empty living room, my pulse hammering, waiting for something, anything, to move. The notification came again. Motion detected. Living room. Still nothing. I watched the screen for minutes, my eyes burning from exhaustion. I wanted to believe it was another glitch, another malfunction. But it didn't feel like that. Felt like something was watching me back. I didn't sleep at all after the cameras glitched again. I sat in my office with my laptop open, staring at the frozen screen from the night's live feed. My living room, empty, silent, looked normal, but something in me couldn't let it go. Felt like something was there, watching. And that wasn't the worst part. It was how quickly my mind kept circling back to Vanessa. The necklace, the lies about the coffee shop, the man I'd seen with my own eyes, Hector Walker, who was supposed to be dead. Vanessa was hiding something. That much I knew. But the pieces refused to fit together. At 4:15 a.m., I couldn't take it anymore. I made my decision. I was going to confront her. The bedroom was dark when I pushed the door open. The only light came from the sliver of hallway glow sneaking in behind me. Vanessa was lying on her side, her hair spread across her pillow, sleeping peacefully. For a moment I hesitated. This was Vanessa, the woman I'd married, the woman I'd loved. Could I really wake her up and accuse her of what exactly? Cheating? Lying? Being involved with a man who faked his death? The thought felt crazy even to me. But then I remembered the cameras, the way they'd glitched, the necklace, her smile when she told me that obvious lie about Main Street. And suddenly, I didn't feel so crazy anymore. Vanessa. My voice was rough, shaking. I stepped closer and nudged her shoulder. Vanessa, wake up. She groaned softly, shifting under the blankets before blinking up at me. Her face scrunched in confusion. Thomas? What's wrong? What time is it? Something's wrong with the cameras again. That got her attention. She sat up a little, rubbing her eyes. What? The security cameras, I repeated, my voice sharper than I meant. They're glitching. Her confusion deepened. What do you mean? Did something happen? I swallowed hard, my heart pounding. I think someone's in the house. That woke her up completely. She froze, her eyes wide in the dark. What? Are you serious? Yeah. I took a deep breath, steadying myself. They're acting exactly like they did when you brought that guy into the house. The second the words left my mouth, her face changed. It was subtle, a flicker of something across her features. Fear? Guilt? Couldn't tell, but it was there. She recovered quickly, her voice carefully even. What are you talking about? I stared at her, my chest tight. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Vanessa. The man from the cameras. The one who came into our house. Who is he? Her expression hardened, her posture going rigid. I don't know what you mean. There was no man, Thomas. Don't lie to me, I snapped. I hated how angry I sounded, but I couldn't stop myself. I saw him. The cameras picked him up. He was here with you. Vanessa's lips pressed into a thin line. You're being paranoid. Maybe the cameras glitched again. I don't know what you think you saw, but there was no man. I stared at her, feeling like I was coming unmoored. I wanted to scream at her, to shake her and demand the truth. Instead, I turned and walked to my office. Come here. Thomas. This is ridiculous. Just come here. She followed me reluctantly. I pulled up the obituary photo on my laptop, the same photo of Hector Walker with the necklace around his neck. I turned the screen toward her. Explain this. Vanessa's face went pale. Her lips parted slightly, and for the first time, she looked genuinely shaken. Who is this? I demanded, my voice low. Why do you have that necklace, Vanessa? The same one he's wearing in this photo. Asterisk. She blinked a few times, her breath coming faster. I watched her carefully, waiting for the lie, because I knew it was coming. But when she finally spoke, her voice surprised me. It was quiet, sad. Asterisk, where did you get this? Asterisk. Don't do that, I said sharply. Asterisk, don't deflect. Just answer me. Asterisk. Vanessa's hands trembled at her sides. She stared at the photo like it had punched her in the gut. Finally, she whispered, Asterisk. It's not what you think, Thomas. Asterisk. Asterisk. Then tell me what it is. Asterisk. She shook her head, turning away slightly, as though trying to pull herself together. Asterisk. You wouldn't understand. Asterisk. The anger in me boiled over. Asterisk. Try me. Asterisk. Before she could answer, my phone buzzed on the desk. The sound cut through the tension like a knife. Vanessa flinched, her gaze flicking to the screen. I grabbed my phone, heart racing. It was a message from Mark, the private investigator. Asterisk. I dug deeper. Your wife's maiden name isn't what you think. Hector Walker was her first husband. They were married in 2014. He faked his death to escape debt. Asterisk. The air left my lungs. I reread the message twice, my hands numb. I looked at Vanessa, who had gone completely still, watching me with wide, unblinking eyes. Hector Walker, I said slowly. Asterisk. You were married to him. Asterisk. Her face crumpled, and she sank onto the edge of the desk. She looked down at her hands, shaking her head. It's not what you think, she whispered again. Asterisk. Then what is it, Vanessa? Asterisk. My voice cracked. Asterisk. Why is he here? He's supposed to be dead. Asterisk. Her shoulders slumped. For a long moment, she didn't say anything. Then quietly she said, Asterisk. Hector. He came back. He found me. And he wants me to go with him. Asterisk. Felt like the ground tilted under my feet. Asterisk. He found you? Vanessa. What the hell is going on? Why didn't you tell me? Asterisk. Tears pooled in her eyes as she looked up at me. Asterisk. Because I didn't know how. I didn't want to hurt you, Thomas. I swear. But Hector, he faked his death. He's in trouble again, and now he's back. Asterisk. Couldn't breathe. Asterisk. And what? You're just what? Thinking about leaving? Asterisk. Her silence was louder than any answer. Finally, she whispered, Asterisk. I love you, Thomas. But I loved him, too. Asterisk. The words hit me like a fist to the chest. I took a step back, staring at her like I didn't even know who she was. Asterisk. You love us both? Asterisk. She nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks. Asterisk. I don't want to lose either of you. Asterisk. I couldn't speak. My throat felt tight, my mind racing. I thought back to Hector Walker's obituary, to the necklace, to the man who'd walked into my house. And suddenly, everything became clear. Hector wasn't just back. He wanted her. And now I had to figure out what I was going to do about it. I don't remember how long I stood there, staring at Vanessa after she said those words. Asterisk. I love you. But I loved him, too. Asterisk. Felt like something inside me broke in half. I'd spent days, weeks, convincing myself I was being paranoid. Convincing myself that I could somehow fix whatever was going wrong. But there it was, undeniable. Vanessa wasn't just hiding things. She was caught between two lives, two men. And the worst part? Hector Walker, the man who faked his death, was still alive, walking around, back from the grave, wanting her. How do you even process something like that? I wanted to scream, to demand answers, but all I could do was stare at her tear-streaked face. I felt sick to my stomach. Thomas, say something, she whispered. Couldn't. I just turned and left the room. I sat alone in my office for hours, the door locked, my mind a mess. I couldn't think straight. I couldn't stop seeing Hector's face in the obituary photo, the pendant around his neck, the same one in Vanessa's jewelry box. I kept hearing her voice over and over. Asterisk, I loved him too. Asterisk, how do you love someone who disappeared? Who faked his death to escape a mess of his own making? And how could you love someone else, me? At the same time, for the first time in my life, I felt completely untethered. I was angry, so angry I was betrayed. But there was something worse underneath the rage. Grief. Grief for a life I thought I had, for a marriage I believed in. And guilt. Guilt that maybe I'd missed the signs long before all this started. But the worst was the doubt. Was Hector manipulating her? Had Vanessa always known he was alive? Was she cheating? Or was she just as trapped and confused as I was? As I sat there, staring blankly at my laptop, my phone buzzed. Motion detected. Living room. The message hit me like a shot of adrenaline. I sat up, staring at the screen. The notification repeated again. Motion detected. Living room. I opened the live feed, my heart hammering, but the screen flickered. Black, then live, then black again. The same glitch. I didn't hesitate. I grabbed the baseball bat I kept under my desk and stormed out of the office. The anger, the confusion, it was like it all boiled over. My body was moving before my brain caught up. Vanessa must have heard me because she rushed out of the bedroom. Asterisk, Thomas, what are you doing? Asterisk. Asterisk, stay back. Asterisk, my voice was low, sharp. I didn't even look at her as I moved toward the living room. Asterisk, if there's someone here, I'm dealing with it. Asterisk. The closer I got to the living room, the colder the air felt. I could feel Vanessa trailing behind me, her breath shallow. I stepped into the living room and froze. There, sitting on the couch like he belonged there, was Hector Walker. He looked exactly like I'd seen him on the cameras. Tall, clean-cut, but with a gaunt, haunted look to him. His clothes were rumpled, his face pale. But what hit me hardest was the way he looked at Vanessa when she entered the room. It was a look I knew. Love. Vanessa, he said quietly, his voice rough. Vanessa stopped behind me, her hand flying to her mouth. Asterisk, Hector. What are you doing here? Asterisk. Asterisk, what does it look like? Asterisk, Hector said, his gaze shifting to me. His eyes were sharp, assessing. Asterisk. I came to see my wife. Asterisk. My grip tightened on the bat. Asterisk, your wife? She's not your wife anymore. Asterisk. Hector tilted his head slightly, a smirk tugging at his lips. Asterisk, maybe not on paper. But she's still mine, isn't she? Asterisk. Shut up, I snapped, my voice shaking with anger. Asterisk, you faked your death. You left her. You don't get to come back here and asterisk. Asterisk, I had no choice. Asterisk, Hector's voice cut through mine. He stood up slowly, and for a moment, I could see the man he used to be. He wasn't just a shadow or some figment of my imagination. He was real, alive, and now standing in my house. Debt collectors don't care about your life, he continued. Asterisk, they don't care about the people you love. I did what I had to do. Asterisk. Asterisk, and now what? You're back? You think you can just pick up where you left off? Asterisk. Hector's eyes flicked to Vanessa again. She was pale, tears streaking down her face. Asterisk. She still loves me. Asterisk. My heart stopped. I turned to look at Vanessa, my voice barely a whisper. Asterisk, is that true? Asterisk. She didn't answer right away. Her eyes darted between me and Hector, her breathing ragged. Finally, she whispered, Asterisk, I don't know. Asterisk. Those words hit me harder than any punch. I stared at her, my chest aching. Asterisk, you don't know? Asterisk. I thought he was dead, she said desperately, looking at me. Asterisk, for years. I thought he was dead. I grieved him. And then you came into my life, Thomas. I love you. I do. But when Hector came back, I didn't know how to handle it. Asterisk. Hector stepped closer to her, ignoring me completely now. Asterisk, you don't have to stay here, Vanessa. We can leave. Start over. It doesn't have to be like this. Asterisk. I felt something snap inside me. Asterisk, you think I'm just going to let you walk out of here? After everything you've done? Asterisk. Hector turned back to me, his face hardening. Asterisk, it's not your choice. Asterisk. I clenched the bat tighter, my vision blurring with rage. Asterisk, get out. Get the hell out of my house. Asterisk. Vanessa grabbed my arm, her voice breaking. Asterisk, Thomas, stop. Please. Asterisk. I looked at her, at the woman I thought I knew, and realized in that moment that I'd already lost her. Maybe not physically, maybe not even completely, but part of her heart had always belonged to Hector Walker. And now he was here to take the rest of it. We didn't sleep that night. Hector left, but not before looking back at Vanessa one last time. She didn't say a word as he walked out the door. Afterward, she tried to talk to me, but I couldn't hear her, couldn't look at her. I sat in my office, staring at the security logs and trying to make sense of it all. And that's when it hit me. The cameras malfunctioned because they did not recognize Hector as a living person. Artificial intelligence trained to track living, breathing bodies was not equipped to handle someone who was officially dead. Hector Walker was a ghost not only to the world, but to my security system. Facial recognition software could perceive him as an anomaly because his profile should not exist, deactivated or erased as deceased. The thought chilled me to my core. The next morning, Vanessa packed a bag. She said she needed time to figure things out. I didn't argue. I didn't even try to stop her. As I watched her drive away, I felt an emptiness I'd never known before. She'd made her choice, or maybe she hadn't. Maybe she was still caught between two worlds, two men. But I knew one thing for sure. I couldn't live like this anymore. I spent the day tearing down the cameras I'd spent so long installing. I don't know why I did it. Maybe because I didn't want to see anymore. That night, my phone buzzed one last time. Motion detected. Living room. I stared at the notification for a long time before swiping it away. After that night, after Hector Walker showed up in my living room and Vanessa confessed that she still loved him, I knew there was no going back. You don't come back from something like that. The woman I'd loved, the woman I'd trusted with my life, had been living in two worlds, hers, mine, and the shadow of her past. I gave her time. I gave myself time. She packed a bag, said she needed space to figure things out, and left. But the truth is, the moment she walked out that door, I knew she wasn't coming back. And I didn't want her to. For weeks, I sat with the memories of us, of the life we'd built, of the cracks I missed until they turned into fractures. I thought about her lies, the half-truths, the pendant in her jewelry box, the way she said, asterisk, I loved him too, asterisk. I felt anger, grief, rage, then nothing at all. And then I did what I needed to do. I filed for divorce. My lawyer was thorough. Vanessa's infidelity was undeniable, and I had the proof to back it up. Thanks to the detective, the cameras, and the ghost of Hector Walker. The law doesn't look kindly on a cheating spouse, especially when the betrayed partner can provide clear evidence. Vanessa tried to argue. She cried in the lawyer's office, said things like, I never wanted this, Thomas, and asterisk, I was confused. You meant so much to me, asterisk. But it didn't matter anymore. The woman sitting across from me wasn't the Vanessa I married. Maybe she never had been. Maybe I'd spent all those years loving the version of her I wanted to believe in. Either way, I made sure she left with nothing. Not out of spite, but out of principle. You don't get to betray someone, to drag them into a mess of your own making, and walk away unscathed. When the divorce was finalized, I stood in that courtroom and felt empty. There was no satisfaction in winning, no pride, just a strange kind of peace, like I'd been carrying a weight for years without realizing it, and now it was finally gone. So here I am, 6 months later, in a house that feels both too big and eerily quiet. I still work in home security, but the cameras are gone. I ripped them out after everything happened. I couldn't stand the sight of them. Trust, I've learned, is fragile. It's not something you can monitor, track, or install like a security system. You either have it or you don't. And once it's broken, there's no fixing it. Looking back, there were signs, little red flags I ignored because I loved her. The way she brushed off my questions. The lies she told so smoothly I almost believed them. The secrets she kept about her past. If you're reading this and you feel like something's wrong in your relationship, listen to that feeling. Don't gaslight yourself into believing you're paranoid, or jealous, or crazy. Your instincts exist for a reason. But here's the other thing I've learned. Sometimes, the truth is worse than the lie. Because when you pull back the curtain, when you finally see what's been hiding in the shadows, you can't unsee it. And you might not like what you find. I spent so much time looking for the truth in Vanessa's actions that I lost sight of my own reality. I stopped trusting myself. I let her lies control me, twist me up inside, until I didn't know what was real anymore. If you're in a similar situation, don't let that happen to you. Gather your evidence, trust your gut, and most importantly, know when to walk away. People have asked me if I regret marrying Vanessa. If I could go back and erase the years we spent together, would I? The answer is no. Because even though it ended like this, even though I saw a side of her I'll never forget, I've learned more about love and trust in these last 6 months than I ever thought possible. I learned that loving someone means trusting them completely. Asterisk, asterisk, but it also means trusting yourself enough to leave when that trust is broken, asterisk, asterisk. Now I'm rebuilding. Slowly. Day by day. I'm learning to trust myself again, to believe in my own instincts. And one day, I'll trust someone else too. But not yet. Not for a while. Before I finish, I'll leave you with something that still keeps me up at night. Hector Walker vanished after that night. I haven't seen him since. He disappeared as easily as he reappeared, like a ghost slipping back into the dark. Sometimes I wonder if Vanessa went with him. She told me she loved us both, but she packed that bag so quickly, so easily. Maybe she knew all along what she was going to do. Other times, I wonder if Hector is even real at all. If he's out there somewhere, still hiding, still running. And then there's the cameras. I still can't explain why they glitched. Why the artificial intelligence couldn't recognize Hector as a living person. Maybe it's because, in some way, he wasn't. Maybe when someone fakes their death, they become something else entirely. A shadow, a ghost, a glitch in the system. Or maybe, just maybe, some people are never meant to be seen at all. Trust is everything. Guard it like your life depends on it. Because one day it just might. Take care of yourselves. And don't ignore the shadows. Thank you all for your attention. But before I say goodbye, I'd like to ask you if you think it's possible for a woman to love 2 men at the same time? Leave your thoughts in the comments below this video. Bye.